Okay, hi guys. So this is actually the first video podcast that I'm doing. I'm here with Taylor Williquette, and he is the personal trainer for Tailored Training.
Yep,
right?
that
Did
is
you do
right.
that on purpose? You were like, oh yeah, I just want a little pun.
Yeah, it was kind of a play on words with my name. So it's just like, it's spelled like tailored clothes, so it's like Tailodr, instead of like my name, Taylor. Thinking back of it, may have been better to go with my name, but it always looked kind of funny when I wrote it out with tailored, like my name spelling, so I just ended up going with tailored, like the clothes, but yeah.
You're so lucky you were named Taylor. Like, what if you were named Steve? Like, Steve Taylor?
So Taylor's kind of a tricky thing because growing up with Taylor Swift and growing up with the Justin Bieber haircut, it was just a really bad 1-2 combo of, the Justin Bieber haircut and with the Taylor Swift going around, it was just, not a good combo at all, so.
Alright, cool.
But we made it through elementary school, so.
There you go,
Now we're here.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, I'm really excited that you chose to be on this podcast. I have been stalking you just a little bit. And we were talking a little bit beforehand. You know,
Yeah.
It's good to talk to people before you actually,
Interview them.
Yeah, it's weird. And I'm kind of fascinated by your work and how you just, I don't know, you help people. And I really love helping people. And so from one person who likes to help people to another, I just think it's awesome. So I thought I'd have you on. That being said, usually with the non-video version, we pause for a couple seconds to let the music go. So I'm going to give an awkward 10 seconds of silence.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, that was weird. That's okay. It's so different doing video, but it's fun. Okay, well, I don't know. I guess go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and maybe something fun about you, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So as Myra said, I'm Taylor Williquette. I am 23 years old, I guess.
You guess?
And
I think you're actually 20.
Yeah. Surprise! I'm 37 and a half. No, I'm 23. I'm a current college student, but I have started my own personal training business called Taylor Training. I have several different personal training certifications, including my CPT app, my bodybuilding cert. I have my nutrition coach cert. And then my strength and conditioning certification as well, which have all helped me to just kind of help other people in the best way that I can. And I guess something silly about me, I'm colorblind, but I can solve a Rubik's Cube. So that's kind of cool.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I can solve a Rubik's Cube, and I'm colorblind. And I can actually solve it. It's not just like I can jumble it up and say I've solved it. I can actually solve one because I can see the colors just good enough with most Rubik's Cube where I can solve it. As long as it's light and not dim, I can solve it. So, because the lighting kind of plays a factor in how I see colors too. But anyways, that's kind of something silly.
I can't even solve a Rubik's Cube, with, seeing. I'm not colorblind, I can't see that. Alright, we should have had you brought one on and been see, look. And then I would have done it in black and white.
I should have brought one, yeah. Oh, that would have been funny.
That would have been so funny. But okay, so how long have you been doing tailored fitness for?
So I've been running Taylor Training for a little bit over. No, you're good. No big deal. I've been running the business a little bit over a year now. I practiced on a couple people first. Because I guess to give my background a little bit is I was an in-person trainer for about a year, and then I slowly transitioned into just online training with previous clients I had and stuff like that. And I officially made it a business in around July of last year, and then got serious with posting on Instagram and stuff like that in around August, September of last year. So
August and September.
It's been about a year of being good with posting and then better with how I was implementing stuff with my clients as well.
So you were doing in-person training and then online training? What's the difference?
Yeah, so in-person training, so I worked at a local gym. There's a bunch of Vassas here in Utah. If you're from Utah, you know what Vassa is. I worked at a Vassa, and with in-person training, you're meeting with the person face-to-face in the gym, and you're running them through a workout, right? And in-person training was great. It was really good to learn more of the skills of how to help people with different forms and exercises and things like that, and helping these people to push themselves. But with a big company over my head and with the limited resources I had, I felt like I couldn't give as much to my clients as I would have liked to give. So that's why I started Taylor Training to begin with, because I feel like I was able to give so much more if I had my own thing I was doing and I was able to help the people that I knew I could in the way that I wanted to. Because with Vasa, there was only so much, I guess I probably shouldn't name drop a company. With in-person training in general, there's not as much accountability, because it's not like I have the time to go through their entire sheet or go onto the thing and see if they signed on the days I told them they should come in and work out, because you're not going to work with an in-person trainer every single day, because that's stupid expensive, right? So I usually meet with people 1 to maybe 3 times a week, but if you're serious about lifting, you should be lifting anywhere at least 3 to 4 times a week, in my professional opinion at least. But anyways, they lack the accountability because I'm not going to go check on them. And then also there is little to no nutritional help, because as you know, if your goal is to lose weight or even gain muscle, nutrition needs to be at the forefront of your mind at all times. And if that's not in place, then you're not going to see results. And I couldn't help my clients with nutrition because I didn't have the systems in place in an in-person gym as I do now being an online trainer. So with online training, I just have they have all their workouts filled out. There's video instructions for everything. I give them reps, sets, and then they fill in their weights, obviously, and then I have them progress their weights over time and stuff like that. They get a meal plan, optional meal plan, and or I just give them calories and protein to focus on. And then they have an accountability sheet that they fill out, a check-in form that they do every single week, and then I respond with a check-in video according to their check-in response and stuff. So
you don't see any of them in person, you just see them online, but you're like actively there. You're actively helping them with their diet and with their nutrition. Because I remember I had a personal trainer once, because I saw you did a Spartan race.
I did do a Spartan race.
I did a Spartan race too.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Did you do the one just here
Yeah, just up at
Oh, so we ran the same one.
Yes, except you ran on Saturday, I ran on Sunday.
Okay,
I think
nice.
I just signed up late, and so...
No, I think I clicked on the... I'm like new to running, so like I'm not crazy good at running, but there was the Elite Contender Series, which is like the national like 5K one, which are like full of crazy athletes. And I signed up for it.
Wait, the national one?
Yeah.
Oh, no, honey. I did like the get off your couch, just give it a shot.
Well, yeah, that's what I was basically, and yeah, anyways, yeah, mine was at 7 a.m. on Saturday, and it was, anyways, it was like somebody finished it in like 39 minutes in my group. Yeah.
What the heck?
Crazy. I ran 109.
I literally ran it at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. It took us like 2 hours, 30 minutes. I went with my friend and we just did it. But, so the first time I did it though, I had a personal trainer, and I think one of the first things she looked at me was she was like, okay, well, I'll help you work out, but I'm not going to tell you what to eat, because let's be honest, you're not going to listen to me anyway. And I was like, okay. I mean, she had a lot of good things. She was the one who got me into actually doing like chest press and actually doing weights and kind of moving away from just doing cardio. So it was pretty fun. But yeah, that's actually so fascinating that you are with your patients every step. Patients? Wow. Sorry guys, I'm a nurse, so that came out. That you're with your clients every single step of the way. You mentioned something. You mentioned nutrition. I have a hard time eating, and I love sweets. And according to your Instagram page, you love sweets too. So what exactly is your idea with like, I think you ate ice cream for breakfast once. I saw that.
I did it this morning. Yeah, it's the Ninja Creamy. There's this whole like thing. If you're like into the fitness realm at all, you've probably seen a Ninja Creamy before, and you basically it's just this little like plastic container that you put, like for instance, my recipe is like, it's almond milk, it's 50 grams of protein, some like sweetener of some sort. I use monk fruit, and then I use some sugar-free pudding mix, and then that's it. You freeze it in the freezer for like, I don't know, 16, 24 hours, and then you put it in the Ninja Creamy machine, and it whips up. And then you have ice cream, and it's like, the one I make's usually under 300 calories, and it's like 40 grams of protein, so.
And this is just like everybody in the fitness world knows this?
A lot of, like, depends on what side you're on, I guess. Like, there's so many influencers out there, but yeah, a lot of people know about, like, the Ninja Creamy and stuff, but it's fine that you don't. But yeah, I think with sweets, it's really hard, especially with trying to implement protein into sweets. There are rarely any recipes you're going to try that are like high protein desserts that actually taste good.
I was wondering about
this is my ideology on it, and I guess we'll probably get into this later, but the end all be all way to lose weight, it's not the keto diet, it's not the carnivore diet. The only diet that will get you to lose weight, and the goal of all these diets, including keto and carnivore, is to put you in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is the only way to lose weight. If you are eating 60 pounds of lettuce a day and you're eating too many calories, you're going to gain weight. It's just simple thermodynamics of the body, how it works. Right? If you're putting more energy into the Krebs cycle than it needs, it's going to make adipose tissue and result, right? So with my idea with sweets is if you have low calorie enough foods that you're allowing to have sweets in moderation, of course, then it's totally fine to have those, right? Like for instance, I think it's important to still enjoy life. And sweets, going to a wedding or going to these events that we have in our life is going to alleviate happiness, but not if we can't enjoy the process.
Like looking at that wedding cake and you're like, well, I guess I can't eat that today.
Exactly. Like, no, dude, what I think is if you lower your calories leading up to that, like, I'm not saying like starve yourself, but like have egg whites for breakfast and have a light lunch, right? And then have a normal dinner and then have fill in the rest of your calories while you're either in a calorie deficit or just go to maintenance calories for one day. It won't kill you. Then that's perfectly fine as well. As long as you're in a calorie deficit or calorie maintenance amount, you're not going to gain any weight, right? So you can, like, obviously you don't have mass amounts of sweets every day and try to moderate at it as much as you can. I've shared on my page, like, smaller sweets. So, like, have a Hershey Kiss or two to kind of crave that. Or I talked about this thing recently called the 4-bite rule. Only eat sweets that you can finish within 4 bites and things like that. Not huge bites, obviously, but yeah.
Okay. Dang, so that's your sweet thing. I love the idea of like calorie deficit. Well, actually, maybe I don't, because then I have to actually pay attention and like count the calories. Okay, are you a busy man? Here, this is a question. Then I want to get into something else.
No.
But would you consider yourself a busy man?
I am very busy. I'm a student. Including the business. As of right now, I work 4 jobs, part-time between all of them, but it's going to be 3 here soon, so.
So my question is, I've seen that you weigh out your food to make sure you get the right number of calories and grams of protein and stuff, right? How do you manage to keep on this like good diet while still being super busy?
It's just making it a priority. Like, obviously, if something's new to you, it's going to take time to get good at it. So, like, I can weigh food probably faster than you could right now if you tried to weigh it.
Is that a challenge?
Right? Yeah. Yes, it is. Just kidding. But there's definitely, like, over time you get faster at things, which just builds up the efficiency of it. And I'll be honest, I don't weigh out everything because some things are already portioned out. So, like, instead of buying, like, a big tub of yogurt, I just grab the small cups because they're already measured out for me. Right? Or, so you can also buy just like serving sizes of things. That makes it a lot easier so you don't have to weigh everything out, right? And even, I'm a very basic very basic boy. Like, I have boy dinners all the time. Like, I have this real good chicken stuff I really like that I've had that for 2 meals in a day. And I'm talking like breakfast and dinner kind of meals. Like, I had fried chicken for breakfast. That's the kind of boy dinners I'm having. Anyways, I'm not saying you have to do that. That's just some weird things that I do. But anyways, sorry, I totally forgot what your initial question. Yes, I am a busy person.
So you're busy, but you still find little, like, I'm going to grab the to-go version so I don't have to weigh out literally everything.
Yeah, and that's just one trick I use. But in, like, the grand scheme of things, I think if you really want a change in your body, like, I believe that if you take care of your body, like, being like severely overweight obviously is not good for your health. You're more likely for osteoarthritis, what's the blood? Oh my gosh.
Atherosclerosis.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah, that
There's
one.
For the win.
I know it's an A word with osis in the end. Anyway, I should know this. I just got my EMT cert, so I should know this.
Hey, no way!
Yeah.
We're like kid, medical
I know,
people.
right next to each other. I'll get my advanced, then we'll be more equal. Anyways, yeah, so you're more likely for what she said. You're more likely for diabetes. I think it's up to like 75-80% higher risk if you're overweight to get type 2 diabetes. And then obviously heart disease comes with what she said because the plaque buildup in your arteries leads to, anyways, we don't have to get too sciencey, but being overweight is obviously a big deal. So I think of it like, I want to be here on earth longer so I can sacrifice an extra minute of weighing out my food, right? I want to be there for my kids. I want to be able to play sports with my kids. So I'm going to go weigh out my food for an extra minute so I can be a bigger part of their life. Like things like that really go a long way in my mind. I think a lot of times people think of the goals that they have of losing weight in such a superficial way that they think, oh, I just want to look better. I want to look skinnier. Whereas you need to think of it more as an emotional way as well. Like, yes, those physical attributes are great, and hoping those physical attributes will help you in the long run, but you need to think of it in more of an emotional manner, and that usually helps a lot with motivation as well. Like, I want to be more self-confident so I can be confident with my job, my career, with my kids, with my job. Like, there's so many different things that we need to be confident in, and being confident in your own skin is like a great way to start that journey.
So a couple podcasts ago, I think I actually talked about the same thing, that your emotional state and your weight are super related. And if you are just focused on losing weight so that you can marry that person, or that you can date that person, or you can wear that dress, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to lose weight, and it's not going to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And I really
Sustainable,
think it is. Yeah.
That ties into, so my program, like, yes, I have the Taylor Training is like the name of my company, but the program that I teach is called the Forever Fit Formula, because I think being fit is something that it should last a lifetime. It's not something that just lasts for a season of your life, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why being a calorie deficit, that's all I train about or teach about. I don't teach a certain diet because your diet may change later in life. You
might be a mom having
exactly.
3 kids versus before when you were just like
single on your own. Exactly, right? So things change, but like obviously a tried and true method is being a calorie deficit, hit the gym, get your step, blah, 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 right? But being forever fit is super important, because if you take those principles and continue them on forever and tie it in emotionally to your goals, that's going to be more sustainable than anything else as well. So
changing subjects just a little bit, one of your stories is you starting out being 200 pounds, and then you had a transformation moment, and you are now super fit, you got abs, you like go to the gym all the time. I'm wondering, what was your motivation to change? Like, what was that process like, going from being 200 to suddenly going to the gym for the first time, eating right for the first time, figuring out how you want to diet or how you wanted to change your life? Like, what was that process like for you?
Yeah, so it definitely had its ups and downs along the way, but I remember in high school, I think at my heaviest in when I started my weight loss journey, I was about 230 pounds, was at my heaviest weight that I'm aware of, that I had the cojones to step on a scale with, was 230 pounds. And kind of in high school, I wasn't confident in myself. I would always my mom was a photographer, and I would always hand to the camera, you are not catching me on a camera, because I'm not confident who I am. I wore a swim shirt all the time, well, not all the time, but if I was going to the pool, I was wearing a swim shirt. I never took it off. And yeah, I super low self-esteem and everything like that. And then I moved out. I went on an LDS mission. I went on an LDS mission. Was the first area I was in. I was with some really good elders, and one of them, he's actually famous on Instagram and stuff. His name is Spencer Forsberg. Shout out Sporty Spence. But he's awesome. And him and some of the other missionaries I was living with really helped me to kind of get into this fitness groove, right? Because they knew too I wasn't very confident. I wasn't very happy with how I felt and stuff like that. And me moving away from home, while my parents are great and stuff like that, getting a fresh start, a clean slate, being on my own, helped me to kind of reestablish what I wanted for myself. Right? And my motivation was mostly coming from yes, I almost thought at first it was the more superficial, not emotional stuff. It was the I want to look better, and I'm too overweight, this isn't good for me, and things like that. And again, I had my ups and downs during that first year of my mission and stuff like that. But then I read a book on my mission. I don't know if I was supposed to read that book, but it's called Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Hey, I love that book.
It's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I think you were the one to tell me to read that book.
You got the Book of Mormon and Bible like in the top two. I'm not placing one above the other. They're tied for first. And then you have Atomic Habits next down the totem pole. So, anyways, really, really good book. And there's I do bi-weekly trainings for my clients as well, just on different skills and stuff too. And I actually just talked about this with my clients. It was a refresher. But anyways, it's about this kind of ideology about the inside-out approach. So I like to think, I've talked about it on my Instagram and stuff before, but I think of like a target. So you have like a target with 3 rings, and then there's like the bullseye in the middle. So think of it like the outside ring is going to be your outcomes. These are things that people usually make their goals around. So it's like, I want to lose weight, I want to build muscle, these different things. Get a 6-pack, right? And then the next ring inside, you have your processes or systems. So these are like, to lose weight, I need to go to the gym. I need to eat less food. I need to focus on my diet, things like that, things of that nature. And then in the center, you have your identity, which is who you are, your self-view, how you see yourself, how you perceive that others see you as well. And then a really good example that I like to make, because people usually think from outcomes in. Like if I want to lose weight and do these things, it's going to change who I am, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, maybe that'll happen, but the likelihood of that happening is a lot less. It's a lot less than if you were to go from what James Clear, I believe, calls the inside-out approach. Right, so he thinks that, and I believe, because this is what I did and it changed my life, is I started by changing my identity first. So I asked myself, what do I want to become? Who do I want to change myself to be, right? And I was like, I want to be a self-confident, healthy, fit person that is aware of themselves and can be there for as long as they can for the people that they love, right? And then from there, after I had my identity set, I was like, okay, what does this kind of person do? They go to the gym. It's the same as before, but I've plateaued my identity. So anytime I have, say, an affliction or a temptation of like,
here's a big cake.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a big pie.
Exactly, like something not super good for you. I'm like, would this person do this? This person with this identity, would they do that? Probably not, right? And again, I believe in moderation, like we were talking earlier. Like, yes, enjoy if Thanksgiving, enjoy some pie, right? But anyways, and then that leads you eventually to the outcomes that you want. So instead of thinking outside in, we need to be thinking from the inside out and change your identity first, because if you want lasting change, it comes from changing yourself first, not the things you do first.
So you were motivated a lot just by saying, like, I want to be this person. So my next question is, when did you get to the point where you could say, I'm an athletic person? Or
I did it immediately. That's the
really?
thing. It was like a switch for me personally. I think there's an analogy in the book, Atomic Habits. He displays these two ideologies of the inside out and outside in approach with 2 smokers that are trying to quit smoking. So there's 2 smokers that are trying to quit smoking, and they're both offered a cigarette. One person's offered the cigarette and says, no thank you, I'm trying to quit smoking. The other person is offered a cigarette and says, no thank you, I'm not a smoker. So they instantly changed who they were. And obviously, it's not going to instantaneously happen. You have to build up almost the habit of believing that's who you are, right? But if it's something you really, really want, you can change that identity if you're really up to it. And there's like no ands, ifs, or but about it. If you have something and you feel like that's within the identity, do it. If not, don't do it, right? And just go take it that way. And then soon after that, I said, a fit person would probably start tracking their calories to really see results. So I started tracking my calories, because before I had lost, I think, 30 pounds up to this point. I'd gone from 230 to 200-ish, but like I was still overweight because I'm not a huge guy, like I don't have a ton of muscle, but I definitely didn't have anywhere to the amount of muscle that I have now. So like I was 230 and I was like flubber, no muscle. There was nothing under there. So like I was at 200 and I was still like, I still had like the beer belly gut almost, but I was like, I still definitely have weight to lose. And I lost another 30 pounds after that point, after starting tracking calories and stuff like that. So.
All right. Dang, it sounds like that was quite different. And so once you started changing, like, well, I don't want to say changing who you are, but once you found your center and you started going outwards, did you just, like, was it a trial and error? Did you try the gluten-free diet? Did you try, like, all these different fad diets and then decide this is the best one? Did you go to school and just say, okay, they're saying this, I'm going to try it? Because clearly whatever you're doing is working really well. And if people follow in your footsteps, like you said, your past 5 clients have already had weight loss a lot. So I don't know, I'm just wondering where you got your knowledge from, where you got the calorie deficit from, and how to eat 1 gram of protein per 1 gram of protein per pound, which after you said that, it made me feel like I had to eat a ton of protein because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so fat. Oh.
No, that calculation is more like the high end of things. So like you can, they've done studies where you can go as low as like 0.7 grams per pound of weight and you still see decent results. But the higher your protein is, obviously, to an extent, the better you're gonna have, the better results you're gonna have, and then the more fullness and appetite suppressant you're gonna have as well. Because obviously, like higher protein, it takes the most calories to burn, so it's gonna be in your body the longest as well, and a bunch of other things. But it's really good to reduce hunger as well. So.
Do you feel like it came from? You said that you had your companion on your mission, who gave you some info. Did you get some from like college then, or? Yeah,
so I got some from just that friend, that missionary, and then when I started calorie tracking, that was actually from another missionary that started me on that, and that's where I got introduced to calorie tracking, and then I eventually got home from my mission, and I took some nutrition classes. I did a lot more of my own research online. By reading different studies and stuff like that. And I think reading studies is where you should go for a majority of this stuff. I believe you should trust what I say because I'm evidence-based, but you can by all means still go read the studies that you can find. PubMD is the best place to go. They have a bunch of peer-reviewed, edited sources and stuff like that. Really good resource to use for anything. You can literally just Google something and put PubMD, and if there's an article on it or a study on it, you can read it. Not saying every study on there is great, but there's a bunch of studies on there.
Good, yeah. It's awesome that you have that evidence-based research, and I think it says a lot when you practice it yourself and you can see the results on you. Like when I'm able to test it out on myself, that means, oh, it's working for me, so it might work for someone else. And everyone has different body types and stuff, but like it's working for you, so why not have it work for someone else?
A calorie deficit will work for everyone, I guarantee you that.
Yeah?
100%. Even if your hormones are out of whack, if you're in a calorie deficit, because that calorie deficit is dependent upon that person. So if their hormones are out of whack and they have say they have some thyroid condition, whatever it may be, if they're still in a calorie deficit, like within their body, they're gonna lose weight. Like that's just like how it works. Like obviously their calorie, like the amount of calories their body uses might be different depending on those different things, right? But it all evens out. Like if a person's eating 300 calories, they're gonna lose weight. Because
they're only using they only putting 300 calories in when they're probably expending a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like your BMR for an average person is probably around 1,600. So if you're eating above that, below that, you're gonna lose weight. So, yeah.
All right.
That's my hot take of the day.
So I kind of wanted to ask about the exercise portion of it now. So you're very much into, you should be in the gym, what did you say, 3 times a week?
3 to 4 is what I
doing
recommend for most.
weightlifting.
Yes.
Right? So how do you prevent how do you prevent injury from working out? I feel like sometimes I've worked out in the past and like one time I was just lifting too much, I guess, and my bicep tore a little bit. And it healed within a day, but like it still hurt. And I feel like lots of people who do muscle exercise, it's good, but they get hurt very easily. So what would you say is the best way to prevent soreness or prevent injury? I guess injury is the one I'm more focused on.
Yeah. So with preventing injuries, I think it's very important to make sure that the person is using proper form. Like proper form is going to be your best friend, and then obviously working at a weight that you're comfortable with when first trying any exercise. Like if I haven't done an exercise before, no matter what it may be, I'm going to start with like light weights, like just so I can make sure I'm using the right muscles and stuff like that. And I think almost like knowing which muscles you're using and like having that mind muscle connection, that's what we call it, is really, really important as well. So I think really understanding the form of it, watch several videos, have a couple different people explain it to you because people will explain things differently. Even look up different cues for things. That sounds weird, but there's different cues for certain workouts. Like there's a movement called the RDL, Romanian deadlift. I've yes, the RDL ones when it's just down the legs. For the hamstrings. And yeah, so what I've explained to people like that, because it's the hamstring exercises, is that imagine you're shutting a car door with your butt and shaving your legs with the bar, because that's literally what you're doing. So that's like a cue that I use.
Like that.
That's a cue that I've used to show people how to do an RDL. And there's a bunch of other cues that people have for different things, like back workouts. You want to imagine a strings on your elbow and it's getting pulled by the wall behind you. So you use your back and less of your arms. So there's a bunch of different cues. So making sure you know form is really good, and then start with a easy amount of weight and then progress from there, right? Like especially if you're brand new to the gym, right? If you're like seasoned vet, and you're trying a new workout, yeah, you can go a little bit heavier because you're used to the weight and stuff. But by all means, it's very important. And if you do get injured, take your time to rest that muscle too. People, so I start my master's degree next week actually in athletic training.
Athletic training, EMT. Boy, what do you not have?
Well, athletic training is kind of up the alley of EMT. So we're the guys on like football fields and stuff that are running. We're the guys running out to the people when they get hurt.
That's
so
awesome.
so that's really cool. So I start that, and we work a lot with injured athletes. I currently work with the football team up at Weber State, and we help guys that have torn ACLs. I've seen hand injuries, broken hands, dislocations, stuff like that, and we work a lot with injured athletes. So be very mindful when you do have an injured body part to take care of it, take it slow, take it easy on that muscle group. That's not saying if you hurt your calf, you can still do some bicep curls. I'm not saying take a break from everything.
No gym today.
Yeah.
I'm sore. I'm broken.
Yeah, depending on the program, obviously. But if something's injured, I always tell my clients, if something's hurt, but you can still do a movement, let's lower the weight and go to a pain scale of no more than 4 out of 10 for you. Because if we're exceeding a 4 out of 10 on pain, then we're probably re-injuring it and not making it better. But if we're under that 4, we're probably actually helping it get better. So, yeah.
That's something I haven't heard of before. So, I guess, where would you suggest someone to start if they are at a point where they don't exercise at all? Where would you suggest that they start their weight loss journey?
I would probably recommend starting one thing at a time. Just start tracking your calories. Don't go into a calorie deficit yet. Just track your calories for a week or so, and then get in the gym once or twice that first week. And you can go to the gym, just do what you're comfortable with to start off.
Even if it's cardio?
Even if it's cardio, I just want your butt in the gym to get used to the environment, see some familiar faces every time you go, have some people hype you up maybe if you're lucky. Does never happen to me. But anyways,
the gym can be pretty intimidating.
It can be intimidating. When I first
started going, I was like, who are all these gorillas?
I promise you, no one cares. As messed up as it sounds, no one cares you're in there. Most of the time, people are either to themselves, just worrying about getting their lift in and getting out of there, or they're like, oh, that person's new. I haven't seen them before. How good of them to be in here. Aww, that's the majority of the time what people... Yeah, there's some not so nice people in the gym, but most of the time, there's people that are like, dang, you go for working yourself and trying to better yourself. Most of the time, people are really happy to see new people in there. Unless it's a really packed gym, then you might have a different story. But most of the time, they're really happy to see you. So.
Aww. I love that. I love that so much. Well, fun fact, we're just about out of time. But as we wrap up, I guess, 2 more questions I have, if it's okay.
Yeah.
So the first question is, I'm assuming you love what you do. And I'm assuming you love the fitness world and everything. Mm-hmm. So, what's it saying? You know what? That might not be a good question because I can't come up with something. But I know you love the fitness world, so I'm really happy you do that. And is there anything that if there's someone out there right now who feels like they can't do it or are feeling kind of downhearted on themselves because maybe they are obese or maybe they are in a part that they were, what is the best advice you feel like you could give them?
I would say you're never too far gone. You can always make it out of a tough situation. Um, I always think of this quote that I heard from a good friend of mine. He said, "Everything will be all right in the end. So if it's not all right, it's not the end." And I really, really love that quote because it always pushes me to be like, if I'm in a bad situation, if I am not comfortable with where I'm at, I can always push forward. So I think if you're new to weight loss, if you're new to pushing yourself, if you're new to whatever it may be, knowing that you can always push forward, know that you're stronger than you think you are too. If I can do what I've done, if I can lose 60 pounds, I know anyone can lose 60 pounds because I was all I did was play video games and eat
You're a
Doritos
gamer?
upstairs. Yeah, I'm a gamer. That's all I did in high school. I worked, played video games, and slept. That was about all I did. So it's very. I know how hard it can be to do something new and challenging, but I know that once you get into it, you'll find how much you like it and how you more so you'll like feeling the results of working out, of eating healthy and things like that. Because eating Doritos and frosting with graham crackers does not make you feel very good. But eating water with a steak, that sounds pretty good to me. That'll make you feel pretty good most of the time. But yeah, I think it's for anyone starting new, I say just go for it. Establish the identity, like I said, that you want to become, and tie an emotional response to it. Like, why do you, not only what outcomes do you want that are superficial, but what emotional results are you wanting as well? And that usually helps to motivate a lot. And if you have struggles along the way, revisit that identity. Maybe shift and change that identity that you want. Because it will change over time, right? We all change over time, right? And so that identity may change later in life. But it's important that if you have moments of despair, if you have moments of sadness, if you don't know what you're doing, it's important to revisit the why behind what you're doing. So, yeah, I guess that's what I would say. That was a lot, but yeah.
Oh, I love that. That was just, I think that's going to help someone. I really love that.
I hope so. That's my goal.
All right. Well, do you, okay, two more things. Sorry.
No.
So, first up, we do this thing called a power spark on the show, which is something small that someone can do to practice what we've talked about. Can you think of a power spark that maybe they can work on this week?
A power spark is to download MyFitnessPal and start tracking your food right now. Don't worry about how calories or anything. Just track everything that you eat or drink, including water. That's my number one tip right there.
Okay.
Start tracking your food because that's where people usually fall. People can go to the gym. People can be consistent with going to the gym, but it's usually the diet that they skip. Because I know that's what it was for me. So.
All right, there you go. Okay, so it's called
MyFitnessPal. That's like the most. There's all sorts of different apps you can use. That's just one of them. You can use a different app if you want. Just use one that you can track your calories on. So.
Okay, so MyFitnessPal, and just track down all the food that you eat in a week.
Yeah, food and drink, because y'all be drinking too many calories too. Stop drinking soda. Drink diet soda.
You're like, please, for the love.
Yeah, it's flavored water for 0 calories.
All right, and then also, where can people reach you if they want to know more information or if they want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so all of my handles are going to be taylortraining.bytaylor.
taylortraining.bytaylor.
Yep. And that'll be on Instagram. Actually, that's on Instagram. Facebook will just be my first and last name, Taylor Williquette. And then, yeah, TikTok's just a Taylor Training too. So.
Okay. I'll post this on the Instagram as well, and I'll have links to your page so that people can find it. And I'll try to find a way to link it to the show because this podcast is going to be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Sweet.
So that's where I post. So that's what I'll do, and so you guys can help. But yeah, anyway, Taylor, you're awesome. This was so much fun, and I love getting to know you, and I love that, I've known you for a long time. Well,
it's been 3 years.
Has it been?
I moved in August of 22,
yeah.
so it's been 3 years now, I think.
That's insane. And I still remember, not saying any names, but I still remember you going out with friends and you just going grocery shopping for them. You're buying this and you're buying this and you're buying this.
Yeah.
And them just going on your diet for a while. And they were so inspired by that. And so the fact that you're having this program now and you have this business it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
And you're just rocking it.
I'm
So like,
trying.
dude, good job.
Just trying to help people. That's the goal. So.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, guys, I think that's it. There's going to be music, I guess, at this part. Again, I've never done a video before, so we'll see how this goes. But trust God, trust others, and most importantly, trust yourself. And we'll see you next week.
See ya.